Hey, welcome to my journey. This is a little bit of a different video. I'm gonna hope that this becomes a series. If you're new to my channel, I will be having my first knee replacement October the 2nd, and I want to be prepared in the food department. The first week I'm home, David won't be working, and so he can do these things. He can cook the meals. But then he'll go back to work and I'll still be probably on my walker, all that good stuff. And so I want to have some meals stocked in the freezer to help me as I recuperate. So this week I made two. I really want to do at least one a week, but this week it just so happened I had two recipes that turned out I could make into two casseroles. See, the thing is, most casseroles are made for a 9 by 13 inch dish, and that's just too big for me and David. Half of that is plenty, and that's what I'll do, is I'll have the recipe, but I'm like, why, if I have all the ingredients out and I'm going to all the trouble, can I not just make the whole recipe and split it into two casseroles? So that's what I'm doing. One is for now when we're eating supper, and one is for the freezer. And what I got was the cheap tinfoil pans from the Dollar Tree. You get 2 square pans in a pack. So, I mean, that's a good deal. 2 for $1.25. That's a whole lot cheaper than the grocery store. They don't have lids or anything on it, but I'll show you in the video how I'm getting around that to make them stackable. Well, what we're making this week is a BBQ Baked Beans and a Beefy Enchilada bake. And both of those were very delicious recipes. So even if you're not facing surgery, this is something good to have on hand for just those days. We all have those days. Sicknesses come up, all kind of things come up, where it would be nice just to have a meal in the freezer. All you gotta do is thaw it out and bake it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm making meals that I can just thaw and bake. Nothing else to it. Add a side dish, and like even with the Beefy Enchilada bake, you don't need a side dish. That's the whole meal. So that's really easy. Well, I want to do one a week, but this past week just happened to be 2. So that's why you're getting 2 on this video. And I'm hoping, like I said, to make this a series, so each time I have a new meal to go in the freezer, I can just do a video for you and make a playlist. I don't know what I'm going to call this. I don't cook now and eat later. I don't know. I'm not cooking it all now. I'm just making it now. I don't know what to call it. So by the time I get this video edited, maybe something will come to me. If you've seen the thumbnail, it came to me, obviously. So that's all I'm going to talk about right now. We'll just turn around and get started cooking. To start our BBQ Baked Beans, first thing we want to do is cook our hamburger. We need 1 pound. And to that, where is my thing? Hold on. We're going to add 1 onion, and I still have some red onion in the fridge. So I'm going to add the whole thing, and that will get rid of that. And then we need 2 tablespoons of mesquite flavoring. This is the one I found. Weber Smoky Mesquite Seasoning. You need 2 tablespoons of that. And then we're just going to cook this until the hamburger's done. I have put my cooked hamburger in a bowl. You want a good sized bowl. Now, I have pre-weighed this bowl. So I know how many grams the empty bowl is and how many ounces the empty bowl is. So at the end, I can determine which way I want to weigh it, because I want both casseroles to be equal. So now we just need to add our ingredients. We need 3/4 cup of barbecue sauce any kind of barbecue sauce you want. I'm using Bullseye. I got at the Dollar Tree. We used to use Bullseye all the time. That was our go-to way back early in our marriage. And I thought they had quit making it. So I actually found it at the Dollar Tree. I was very happy about that. Now it calls for 3/4 cup of brown sugar. I'm using Truvia Sweet Complete because I'm not using sugar-free barbecue sauce. I thought I would save the sugar in the brown sugar. And then I want to mix these things in before I put my beans. I just thought it might mix easier. And then not 3/4, my goodness. 1/4 cup of molasses. And I sprayed the inside of my measuring cup to make it come out easier. Oops, sorry. And that is just molasses. And then 2 teaspoons of dry mustard. I'm going to mix all that up. Okay, now that I'm pretty sure the sugar has dissolved and everything's mixed up really well, we're going to add our baked beans. I'm just using the Great Value. It's the 28-ounce cans, 2 of those. I figured since we're doctoring them up, I just might as well buy the cheaper ones because we're, like I said, we're doctoring them up. This is why you need a big bowl. So we're going to mix this up really good. Okay, so now we want to weigh. Let me get I have it on a piece of paper. So I have 128.3 ounces, and let's go ahead and get grams. 36. And since I'm not crazy enough to do math on camera, I'm going to ask Alexa. Okay, so I asked her to, grams is going to be the easiest way. So I need, each casserole needs 1,075 grams. It come out perfectly even. So this 30, it keeps changing, 36, 37, 36, 38, all that. But I subtracted the 36 minus the 1,075. And that means I need 2561 remaining. That way I will have 1,075 out of the bowl, and there will be 1,075 left. And I have sprayed an 8x8 baking dish. So I need it down to, what did I say, 2561. Ooh, there's 68. Can we get much closer? Oh, no, that's 29. What did I say, 25? That can't be right. There's no way. There's no way that is 1,075. Okay, well, hold on. We're going to put the rest in a baggie because my eyes just don't feel like that is right. Well, let me put this on here. I've already marked it BBQ Baked Beans, which I'm going to know what it is, but just for clarification, let's see, let's tear that out. Okay, now we're going to fill our bag. I wonder if I should be bold enough to pour that. Well, it's a little more, actually. I guess my math with Alexa wasn't too good. I don't know. But I'm going to zip this up. Let me move that out of the way. Get all the air out of it. And then this, I will use this as my baking dish. So I'm going to just press it down. And when I thaw it, it will already be the shape of this pan. So when I take it out of the pan, I can just pop it right back in there and bake it. It may probably fit in my glass dish as well. So we're going to set this aside. And the other one, the one that we have in the glass dish, is going to bake 350 for 20 minutes or until it's nice and bubbly. So I totally forgot to turn on the camera when I was telling you about this. This is a little piece of cardboard that I had something shipped a while back. And for whatever reason, they had a stack of these in there, all the same size. And I'm like, well, I'm going to save those for something. All I had to do was trim the top, and it fits perfectly inside. So I got that just so I can set stuff on it and not on top of the baked beans, at least while they're not frozen. But it should also help things sit more stably in the freezer. But I put on here BBQ Baked Beans. This is just some freezer tape I had. I have had this since probably the 80s. I've never used it all. And then that it bakes at 350 for 20 minutes. Now, here's my first casserole ready for the freezer. Here is our casserole, our beans out of the oven. The bubbling has kind of stopped a little bit, but they smell heavenly. I cannot wait to get into these. Now we are going to make a cornbread to go along with it. So let's scoot over to the other side. I have my cornbread all made. So what I'm going to do is cut half for now. Actually, you know what? I am going to freeze it in quarters. So let me take out these now, because that is way plenty for us for one meal. So what I will do is I will take, I'm going to let it cool. I will just wrap each one of these individually in plastic wrap, and then an outer layer of tin foil to make sure it's really good and covered, and then mark it with my freezer tape. And I've got 3 cornbreads ready to go. So I'm not going to show you all that. You know how to wrap cornbread. And that will do it for this meal. The first thing we want to do for our enchilada bake is to cook our ground beef, and we want 2 pounds of it. I had to thaw that one in the microwave, so it's a little bit cooked on the edges. So we'll break that up a little bit to begin with. And I want to season it with house seasoning. Paula Deen's house seasoning. You can Google that, or you can go on my website. I think it's under miscellaneous. I'm not sure, but you can search at the top, Paula Deen, and it'll pull it up. It's a wonderful just seasoning for anything and everything. Now I'm just going to cook this until it's completely done and drain it. And then we'll be ready to assemble. Well, almost ready. Okay, our hamburger is done. Before we start assembling, we need to cut our tortillas. I'm just using the Mission thin, the extra thin yellow corn tortillas, because that's what I use just to save. It's either calories or I can't even remember why I use them. I think they're less calories, less carbs. How many carbs is in this? 25 and 3 fibers, 3 proteins. That's in 3 tortillas. 1 gram of fat, 120 calories. Yeah. Use your favorite yellow corn tortilla. That's all I'm gonna say. But we're gonna cut them into smaller pieces. And I have 8, by the way. Now, since I'm halving this recipe, I kind of, let's do it this way. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't cut it very well. I didn't plan this very well. We need half of them. Or each casserole. That look like, there, that'll do. Let's set this aside. And the recipe calls for 16 ounces of cheese. 4 cups of 16 ounces. That's a lot of cheese. So I'm just going to put it on there till it looks right. Now, let's get our casseroles over here. I have the one I'm cooking tonight and the one I am putting in the freezer. Let me see if I can turn that over. Let me fix this camera. Okay, this is a layered casserole. 1 pound of hamburger will go in each. I'm using a 28-ounce can of enchilada sauce. I went ahead and poured half of it in a measuring cup so I wouldn't have to eyeball half and half. I need 1 1/4 cups of sour cream, which does not seem like enough to me for 2 casseroles, but we'll make it work. You saw the 8 tortillas and then the cheese. Do your cheese till it feels right. If you're getting an accurate count, weigh it. I can tell half of that was what. Okay, the first thing we need, and we are going to draw a line in the hamburger. So each casserole gets 1 pound, and we want half of that on the bottom. Okay, then we want half of the enchilada sauce. And since I got that divided, I'm going to do them separately like that. Actually, I think I can go a little bit more on that. Then half of the sour cream. So we want to do 1/4 on this layer. 1/4 of what I have. If you're doing the whole recipe, you will do half of what you have. Yeah, that's going to be enough sour cream. And then 1/4 of the tortillas on each one. And then supposedly 1/4 of the cheese. We'll see. It very well could use it all. I don't know. I do know I want a good layer of cheese. And you're welcome to cut it back to suit your plan. Okay, then we are going to repeat the layers. So another quarter of hamburger. The other half of the enchilada sauce. The rest of the sour cream. So that'll be another quarter. Then the other quarter of tortilla chips. Tortillas, not chips. And more cheese. You know what? I think we're going to use that whole 16 ounces of cheese. When you think about it, it's only 8 ounces for each casserole. So as far as casseroles go, that's kind of not bad. Now we are going to cover this and bake it at 375 degrees for 40 minutes. And then we're going to uncover it and bake it for another 10. I think that's right, if I read the recipe right. Now this one, we are just going to cover and pop in the freezer. We want this to freeze solid, and this is what I will do. Hold on. I have my little thing here. What I will do when this is frozen solid, I will take the foil off, put some plastic wrap directly on the casserole to keep out as much air as possible. Wrap it in the plastic, and then put the foil back over it. And I might tape this on because it's kind of loose, but for now, setting it in the freezer, I want to know that that's what this is. So I'll be back when our casserole for tonight is done. Here is our casserole, fresh out of the oven, after I removed the foil and baked it 10 minutes. Now I'm going to let it sit here for 15 minutes and show you how it looks like when it's ready to serve. Okay, so it has, I got a helper for my camera because I done took my tripod in yonder. But this is already set for 15 minutes, and I'm thinking 6 servings. So I just kind of want to, it's not a casserole that you cut, but I just kind of want to score it to see. I think 6 servings is pretty good. That makes a decent serving. Okay, let's scoop this out and see how it looks. Looks delicious. So there you have it. I'm sure it's good. I will let this cool and come back and tell you what I think. Okay, well, I gave it a taste. It's good. Got the thumbs up from David, so there you have it. Our beefy enchilada bake. And that is our second casserole for the freezer. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will bring you more as I make more dishes for the freezer. And until then, I'll see you later.